Hello, here we are. We're back for our second episode of this school year's Classroom Connection video series. We're trying to do a matchup series lately. So that means I have two 7th graders against another two 7th graders, and I award a point and the card to the team that I think answered the question the best. Now this is all subjective, so any viewers can decide to argue with our answers here or what I think is the winning team, but it's also just for fun. Okay, so my 4 7th graders in this week include our teams of Divya and Saanvi and Isha and Sushreeya. All right, so first question is going to go to Saanvi and Divya. They won the coin flip before our video started. So that means you get to choose to answer the first question or pass. Okay? Sometimes there's a benefit to going first, and then sometimes there's a benefit in going second. All right, so our first question up is stress. The question is, are 7th graders, are you settling into this school year without as much stress as the beginning of the year? Think about the first week compared to now, right? Or are you still feeling distress in our first month after our first month of school? You can go either one, or you can go a little of both. So here's the question again. Are you still distressed? Is it the same as the start of the school year? Or are you settling in nicely and figuring out things and coping correctly? All right, Saanvi and Divya, who's first? Oh, do you want to answer first or pass?
Oh, answer.
Okay.
So, I think it's healthy to have a bit of both in your life. So I think I am having a little bit of both. Eustress when I'm with my friends and like when I get a good test score, for example. But then a little bit of distress is also good because it can like drive you to try and fix the problem and cope with it correctly. So if I'm stuck on a problem in homework, I'll ask a friend or a teacher.
Would you say your stress level now compared to the very beginning of the year is better? Is it improved? Or is it about the same?
Yeah, I think my distress levels have gone a little bit down because I'm like getting into the groove of things. I'm not getting that much homework. Yeah.
Great. Saanvi, anything to add?
So like I feel like I have like a different stress from like before. Like before it was like, oh, am I starting a new school, this, that, like new things. But now it's more like, oh, like tests, oh my god, like it's like a different like stress, but it's still stress.
The stress.
Yeah, the stress, but it's not the same like things that are causing me to stress out.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, good. It's tough to start. All right, so a chance to steal the card and the point. Who's up, Sushreeya or Isha?
Sure. Okay, so I feel like it's a little bit of both because last year we were just carrying around our backpacks everywhere and it was much easier, and getting into this year where we're not allowed to carry our backpacks and I have to carry so much more stuff, it's like it's harder. It's a different type of distress. Yeah. But now that we've kind of went into the first month, it's easier for me to carry my stuff around, and it's like, oh, I need these things for first and second period and third, and then put them back and then get this stuff for the rest of the day. So it's kind of like a groove that you get used to, and it's like, if it's 50-50, depends on what situations I'm in. Sometimes I have a lot of homework, sometimes I don't have what I would call enough homework for me.
Yeah.
But
makes sense. So Shreya, anything to add?
Yeah, like again, like sometimes I feel like I'm always forgetting things for class. And since like usually for my morning, since in the morning I only have ELA, I usually just take the things I need for ELA. But then I forget things I need for Achieve, or like sometimes I usually just have everything for the afternoon in my accordion. But then sometimes I forget things because I might need to switch for ELA, and that kind of increases my distress levels because I get worried about, you know, getting my tug chart signed or like getting in trouble for forgetting something.
Sure. So it sounds like you're both split compared to the beginning of the school year to now. You're saying, well, there's some stress here, there's some stress there. So first card is split. We're gonna give a point to both of you, okay? So that means we're still even. That is too difficult to decide who's the winner of that card. Now, we're gonna find out. Second question up and more discussion. Our next focus point is all about kindness. Kindness. So here's the question. And Isha and Sushreeya, you're first up this round. The question is in general about 7th graders, all right? Our 7th graders and middle schoolers too, are they kind and helpful, or do seventh graders tend to be more mean and selfish? All things considered, seventh graders, kind and helpful or mean and selfish? Go ahead, ladies.
So, seventh grade's kind of like, it's that middle school, so a lot of my friends, including myself, we're kind of going through this phase right now, and that's kind of developing like our personalities and everything. So, in general, I'd say that seventh graders, it really depends on the situation we're in. Like, if I kind of am going to be late for class, or if I'm not in the best mood right now, I probably am not going to be the first person there to help you, but that's probably because I'm like under a lot of pressure that there's something going on. But in general, I'd say that seventh graders were pretty helpful, and we're pretty kind unless like we're in pressure, like we're having a mental breakdown or something. But besides that, we're pretty kind, and I'd say that we're like helpful, especially towards our friends.
Nice. Isha.
So I would say that it's split.
Okay.
Because middle school is a very the part of all your schooling that you're developing the most. So we can seem bleak, we can seem mean, but when we don't mean it. And I'm also gonna go as far to say, so we've been hearing be kind, be kind, be kind.
Yeah.
But do we really stop to think about if we're being kind? Because it's just like, oh, kindness exists, just do it. What does it mean?
Great question. Ladies, a chance to steal the card. Kindnesses in general for seventh graders. Saanvi or Divya? Who's up?
Do you have anything to say?
It's tough because sometimes, the first team might take the things you were going to say. It's okay to reiterate. You can restate it.
Okay, so let's take a common scenario, right, that we go through a lot in middle school and school in general. So we're working on a group project, right? So you always have to think about the different perspectives that are there, especially in group. There's going to be like 5 or 6 perspectives that you have to go through. So let's say we divide and conquer the work, right? If we need help on it, someone is probably going to help you, but they will be selfish, as in the question states, and they want to finish their part of the work too. So it's like they can be kind and helpful after they're done doing what they want to do. So it's just like.
So are you split?
I think I'm split because like from the person who needs help's perspective, you'll be like, oh, they're being selfish. They don't want to help me. They want to help me later. But from the person that's going to help them, they'll be like, I am going to be kind and helpful, just not right now. I'm going to be doing it.
Yeah.
So
got it.
It's a bunch of perspectives.
It is. Go ahead, Saanvi.
So, yeah, I think seventh graders, they're like split. Like some people can be kind and helpful, but usually only toward their friends. Some seventh graders can be kind and helpful, but really only toward like friends and stuff. And I feel like seventh graders can be really like judgmental if they like meet someone that's like new, like they've never seen before. Because like right now, like most of the people in our grade we've seen like the year before. So we tend to like, help people and be kind to people we already know. So
That's an interesting point. I like their answers. We're gonna go award the point over here to Divya and Saanvi. They went second, but I do also like what was said here because Isha makes a good point. That sometimes we are mean, we don't necessarily mean to be mean as middle schoolers. Sometimes those frustrations come out and that happens. Costume change. All right, we had to split, we had to cut the video there. So here we are, a different day. We're gonna finish up episode 2 of our matchup series. Here's where we were, here's where we are. For you, it was a matter of seconds. For us, it's been a few days. So we're at 1 point each on our stress card, and then I awarded the recent point over here to Saanvi and Divya for kindness, right? That's where we were. All right, so new question and next question is all about health class. So the question is, which one is more beneficial? For 7th graders, is it great that we've been consuming, like taking in articles and stories, video clips, if you remember, or has it been better when we create? We've been making our own videos. We've been journaling on a lot of things. So what's more beneficial? Now, you could say both, and that's fine, but maybe take a stance. Is it better to consume and take in? Does that help your brain on our topics recently? Or was it better to create and put some stuff out there to the world? All right, I gotta remember who's first on this card. I can't remember.
Okay, so
They went first last time.
Was it?
We went first.
Because they started on
Okay.
stress,
They
we
started
started
on
on
stress.
kindness.
All right, that's true. So, health class, consuming versus creating.
If that's right.
It is.
Yeah, okay.
It is. Divya, go ahead.
I'd say creating's the most important.
Do you want a reminder on what we've created?
Um,
Or do you remember?
I think I remember. So we created a presentation about mental disorders and things.
Yeah. So we had a mental health project.
Mhm.
What about our advocacy videos?
Yeah, that was a huge part too because it made us feel more connected and a part of the situation or movement. And then I don't know the exact words to this quote, but it was Albert Einstein who said that if you can't teach it to someone else, then you don't know it. So the teaching to someone else is kind of like creating. If you're creating a video or a presentation, you take what you already know, and then you can create something better out of it, make it slightly more informational, and put it in your own words. When you put it in your own words, that really demonstrates that you show proficient understanding of the subject. But I also think it's important to say that you can't create anything until you have consumed anything. So I think they really are a part of each other.
Yeah.
But rather than just consuming, if you're consuming and creating, then it's better. So I'd say creating.
Wow, well said. Saanvi, anything to add?
Not really, but all I have to say is yeah, you can't really create if you don't consume anything. Even though creating is better, it'll be even more better if you consume things first.
Okay. All right, ladies, a chance to steal. Isha or Sushreeya?
Yeah, okay, so I would say definitely the project helped, and that helped a lot because just researching into a topic is better than just consuming information. Actually, technically when you're researching, you're consuming information.
Right.
But you're adding an extra step by putting what you learned and kind of applying it. And I would also say visuals. When we made the project, I did a visuals definitely helped. So I would say the videos and the project.
Cool. Sushreeya, go ahead.
Yeah, again, what Divya said, it's both important. I feel it's a step one, step two thing. So if you don't consume information, you don't have anything to give out or create. But if you just consume it and you don't essentially share it, it might be good for you, but it's essentially not good for the community. And we thrive on the learning that we get from the community.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, it's consuming is step one and creating is step two. So I feel they're both important in their own ways.
Absolutely. Any other details to add?
I think I might have also said this for another question, but I really think it's true for both of them. So you have to take into account perspective. So when someone's creating, someone else would be consuming. So you can't consuming can't exist without the creation of what you are consuming. So it's not one's more important than the other. Because you can't have one without the other.
Interesting.
Because in order to create, you must consume something, some background knowledge from research or something.
Yeah.
But in order to create research, you have to
It's
consume
a
it.
chain
It's just
reaction.
it's a
Yeah.
cycle.
Which came
It's
first,
just a cycle.
ultimately.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Boy, I think Divya is carrying this one, don't you?
Yeah.
I think Divya's good. Now, I know Isha and Sushreeya, you took this and kind of went further and said the creation part is applying your consumption. So if we take in a story, let's say we read something about, what was our recent stories about? Eating disorders in particular, maybe? Or what if we watch a video on a certain issue? OCD, what else did we have? Schizophrenia. Okay, so, but I think Divya is carrying it. And you said some great items, but I have to award the card. And Saanvi, Divya is carrying your team over here. That's pretty good. I award that to Divya and Saanvi. Was that the right call? We got one last card. So last card, last question is a bonus question. Our bonus questions are always just kind of for fun. So here we have it. What is fun? What is more fun? What is more stress relief for middle schoolers? This could be with friends or alone. What's better, sports or music? What offers the most fun, stress relief? you can be creating music or it can be listening to music. It can also be watching and seeing somebody play a sport, or it can be playing. So think of it that way. Okay, who's first this time? It is Isha Sushreeya. Bonus question, what's more fun, sports or music?
Okay, again, like Divya said in the other question, this is really a prison. It's like
Of course.
it's like a really hard question, and I say so. I run track out of school, and I play the violin. I've been playing for 5 years, and I also do choir at school.
Okay.
So, for me, I am definitely an extrovert. So for me, whatever I do, for me, it's a lot more fun, and it hits different if I do it with my friends. But for me, if I when I do practice, if I just practice running, yeah, sure, I can run whenever I want to run. But when I run with my friends, it just feels different because we get to roast each other about who's faster. If I lose one day, everybody's just gonna be like, "Oh no, you can't run anymore," and it's just funny because it's the friendly, teasing kind of encouragement that I as an extrovert definitely need. And then again, choir, you can hum, or for me as an extrovert, I like to hum and sing whatever, but it just hits differently when I sing with my friends because a lot of my friends are in honors chorus and they're really, really talented at singing, so it's just a little different when I do it with my friends. But then again, if you're an extrovert, you might prefer to do things alone, and that's completely fine. So I just feel like this question has a lot to do with your personality, and as an extrovert, I like to do this kind of stuff when I'm with my friends. Then again, the question is
Is it sports or music?
So for me, it would definitely be music, because music for me is like a getaway from any mental stress or any other things that I have. Music is definitely like a getaway. No matter how much I suck at music, it doesn't impact me in any way. So for me, it would definitely be music.
Music. All right, Sushreeya got us off to a great start. Well, that's going to be tough to follow. All right, Isha.
Okay, so I currently do badminton, play the clarinet, and at school, and also I'm in combo, so I also do chorus.
Cool.
So sports and music. So I am not a really active person. I don't really like sports, but having friends, I would say that friends in anything is fun because I'm an ambivert. So people that I don't know that well, I won't be that I'll be kind of less open, kind of shy.
Yeah.
But people that I know really well, I will. You would think I'm a different person with them. So anything with friends is just amazing, and definitely music and sports. So now, music is an amazing thing, and sports is too. Sports is really important. Both music and sports are important for your brain. But personally, I am leaning towards music.
Okay.
But
let's hear from Divya and Saanvi. You might have something to add. Okay, you might have something to add. All right, that's a tough act to follow. All right, what do you got for us, Saanvi? Are you first?
Yeah.
Sports or music?
In my opinion, I would pick music too. The only reason is because I feel like sports, when you're playing a game, you probably feel a lot of stress too, and you might not feel great either.
So I do Hindustani classical singing, and I've been doing that for 5 years now. And each year we have to take 2 very important exams. So that causes me distress quite a lot, especially now because my exam's in November. And so that's causing me distress right now. But I do really love it, which is why I have stuck with it. So it's a balance of eustress and distress. Sports I'm not really involved in that much. I do a bit of volleyball. I feel like that causes me more distress than eustress because I'm constantly worried about if I'm gonna get the point, if I'll hit the ball correctly, right? So in terms of distress and eustress, I'd say I do get more eustress from doing music. I play clarinet. I'm in choir, and so I'd say this.
Yeah, sounds like you're leaning towards music. Anything that you missed that you wanted to say?
Whenever it's nighttime, we just feel the need to turn on the TV and blast karaoke.
I just sing in the shower.
Yeah, everybody sings in the shower.
Yeah.
And it's really weird because for some reason I just don't get sleep at night a lot. I do sleep, it's just I don't feel sleepy at night.
I don't even feel sleepy at all. Like at any time, I don't feel hungry or sleepy at any point of the day.
Okay.
Energetic.
Yeah, I'm way too energetic. And my mom's always like, you hang out with your friends way too much, and that's like causing your brain to be like super hyperactive every day. That's probably very true. I'm not gonna deny that. But for me, the only reason I probably chose music is because I don't get any distress when I sing. I can sing like every single note of the song off key, and it's perfectly fine. And occasionally I'll just sing like every note of the song off key because it's just funny to do that.
Okay.
But it's just like weird to sing.
You do that on purpose?
Yeah, it's
I
just
do it on
weird
accident.
to sing me instead of dough. And yeah, I just like the sound of that. But besides that, if distress in track wasn't a factor, sports would definitely be my answer.
Gotcha.
But
Boy, this question's bringing out the most conversation, right? The most discussion.
Also,
And that's good. That's a good thing. Are we leaning towards music?
Yes.
Sounds like we're leaning towards music. All right. So I have to award the bonus card over here to these two for their lengthy stories, which was full of details and we love. So I'm going to give the bonus card
so proud
here.
of us.
So let's check out what we got for this week's matchup series. It looks like, what do we have? It looks like Saanvi and Divya take it. It looks like our winners are here. I don't know if that's the right call. Maybe I made the mistake early on. Anyway, let us know. I wonder at home if people are thinking sports, no music. I wonder if they're doing the same thing. But anyway, there's our second episode. I want to thank our ladies for jumping in and working out because it took us a few days to figure out. So thank you, Saanvi, Divya, thank you, Isha, and Sushreeya. That's it for now. Let us know in the comments if we made the wrong decision. And of course, as always, thank you for watching. Let's say bye.
bye.